Hello again, and welcome back to our platformer game. So, last episode, we made this little hurt box here. Let me select you, hurt box. Anyway, the box that hurts people. The hurt zone, right there. And we made a health system for our player. Well, this episode, we are going to make it so the information is, instead of displayed via like a debug setup, we are actually going to display it kind of prettily. We aren't going to spend a lot of time with our widgets or our heads-up displays, but we're gonna make it look a little prettier and have a display that updates our health for us as we go along. So, let's jump right on in. First things first, let's go back to our game over screen. So we've got you dead. Okay, all great and all, but our player is still moving when this comes up. So, just like on our player, where we have the event graph to deal with blueprints, we have graphs on our widgets. Widgets being our heads-up displays. So, what we want to do here, get rid of the event tick. We want to keep the event construct. And with the widgets, the event construct is the same as our event begin play on the actors. So let's pull off that, and we are going to set input mode to UI only. Okay, so this way we'll no longer be able to words, wow. We're not going to be able to control the player on the screen when he takes damage to get down to nothing. Okay, so the widget we're going to focus is going to be self. Should be able to do that right there. Nice. And we need to get the current player controller. Get player controller right there. So this way the player will no longer be able to move around the screen once they've seen the game over. Okay. And we want to lock the mouse to the screen. Perfect. So now, if we play our game, so open those doors, bring the platform back, and then we got bringing our health down as I walk through the zone. Right now we have no way to see our health going down, but I assure you, it should be going down, and any moment here. See, I can no longer control our player. So, he continues walking off the side of the screen. That may not be so great. Let's go to our player and see if that's something we can mess with. Axes input. Let's see. Should we change the input mode here? No, you know what? I think that's good. We'll leave it exactly how it is, so that when he dies, he just continues going whatever he's doing. We can always change that later, or have it trigger a effect or animation later on when we start making the game pretty. So that is that. You can no longer control your player as soon as you die, or your health gets to 0. Perfect. Now, since we have that, let's open up widgets, and we're gonna do a HUD. We're gonna make a new widget. So right-click, blueprints. Sorry, right-click user interface, and then widget blueprint right there, and we're gonna call this game HUD. So this will be our main heads-up display. And we're going to enter in there. Okay. Now, with the game HUD, we're going to have a text box. We're going to have this say health. We are going to size to content with that little button. And we're going to move it up to the corner right there. Maybe put a symbol in there like that. We're going to bring out another box. There. We are going to... Where is... There we go. Justification. We want to align to this side. We are going to give the content 100. Just to see what that looks like. And... bring it into the screen like that. So if we let go of everything, yep, so we can see our health right there. So that's what we want, is up in the top corner of our screen, we'll see our health. Now we have to set this on our player's screen. And we have to save the player actor, so that we can get information from it. So, on event begin play. We don't have one of those here yet, so let's move all our stuff down, and we are going to come here. We are going to then, on event begin play, and again, this is on our player character. We are going to create a widget. Create the widget of game HUD right there. And we are going to get player controller. And move that in. Move this down together. Move this back one, straighten that off. And then we want to add to viewport. Okay. You can comment this. And this is add main HUD to view when play starts. There we go. Okay. So, when we play now, hey, we've got health, it says 100, but as we run through the box, which should be doing damage, it does nothing to us. Okay. Let's go back to our game HUD. So now, we are going to do something real fun. So, we've got health here. We are going to rename this to health value. And we are going to bind the text. We're going to create a binding. Okay. So, what this bind is going to do is every time a value is updated, this is going to change. So, real fun stuff here. We want to come over to our player character, game HUD, and we want to make a new variable for ourselves. We are going to call this player character. It's going to be of type actor. Right there. Perfect. So we're going to pull off this and get... We're going to cast to player character. And as player character, we are going to get health. And we're going to straighten all this off. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want to straighten that. Bring that down. This new variable is garbage because we already have a variable there. I'm going to straighten this. And then we are going to convert our float to text. And if we just pull into it, it will automatically do that conversion for us. And then we can pull off there. So this should, every time health is changed, it should update our text to reflect the change in health. Let's see if that's going to work for us. Doesn't end with a return node. Execution path doesn't end with a return node. Yeah, it does. There's our return node right there. Anyway, here we are going to set player character. And we are going to get a self-reference. So we're going to set the player to the player that caused it to spawn. Because again, in our player character, we are spawning the new HUD. Compile, save, and let's play the game. So now we say 100, see 100 there. We come. If we come through here, oh, it's 90. And then it's 80, and then it's 70, and then it's 60, 50, boom. Oh, 30, 20, 10, and 0, and I'm dead. And I just keep on moving. Now we should probably fix that. Okay. But yeah. So now we have here our bind. And that there is what is driving our health right here. Our get health value. And that's just getting the health from our player character's health right there. Now let's give our player an option to restart the level. So we are going to go back to our game over screen. So if you don't have it open still, you can go over to widgets where you should have it saved and game over. We're going to then add a button. Okay, and in that button we are going to add text. Our button, we want to size to content. And our text, we want to put in try again. As a question. Do you want to try again? Oh, leave that there, but we want to move the button around, say like right there. And you did to right there. Yeah, sure, that works. And maybe try again should have a space in it. There we go. There we go. And then for this button here, we are going to make it is variable. So it is already selected is variable. And our button, we are going to call this restart. got our restart button. Compile, save, and let's go to our graph. So in our graph, we now have this button, restart. And we can come down and on clicked, on pressed, on released, we're going to do an on clicked. And on clicked, we are going to load level. That's not what we want to do. We want to open level. Sorry. And level name, we want to type in our level's name exactly as is. So test map is what our current level is. So we want test map. Straighten connection. And let's give this a try. So if we come, hit our switches to get across our bridge, health goes down, health goes down, down, down. I should probably make that de-increment faster so that we can test this quicker. Try again. Oh, well, there is a little bit of an issue. So, when we create our game over screen, we should maybe set cursor. Oh, come on. Show cursor. I know it's an option. Where are you? Set show mouse cursor. There we go. And we just pull off our player controller that we're already referencing. Straighten off these pins and set that to true. And before we play, we are going to go over to our hurt box and we're going to make it de-increment by 25. So you only have to pass through it 4 times instead of 10. So 75, 50, 25, and last. There we go. Our mouse is now back, and we can tell it to try again. And hey, we're back, but we cannot control our player. So, we're then going to come back to our widgets, to our game over, and we need to now set our game mode back. So, or set our input mode. So, set input mode to game only. Straighten our connection, and we're going to get our player controller. Get player controller. And there we go. So let's try this. Walk through, de-increment our health. And then we can try again. And hey, we're back to being able to move. And we're still de-incrementing. And then we can try again. And there we go. We now have a game over menu with a button to restart. So this has now been 20 minutes. So something that I have been lacking in my last couple videos is our overview of what we've done. So let's go through that. So in our last video, we went to our player and we created this health system. So it's very simply a variable that when we tell it to do damage, we minus a damage amount from the variable. We check to see if that is less than or greater than 0. If it is not, we just update the health. If it is, however, less than or equal to 0, then we make our game over screen. Okay, let's go over to that. In our game over screen, we tell the character they're dead, or the player they're dead, but we also give them this button. This button then will open a level, and we have to set the level to exactly what the level name is, so that we can restart. Okay? Within this widget, or this heads-up display, we also have setting it so that the player no longer has control of their character, showing the mouse so we can actually interact with things, and then once we've told it to reload a level, we set it back to game mode so that the player can actually control the character again. We may even want to copy that and set the mouse cursor to disappear. And there we go. Set the mouse cursor to disappear. The other thing we did is we made this game HUD. And game HUD, we have up in the corner a health value. And with that health value, we have it bound to a variable. So, when our player first starts existing, come on player, open up. It makes a copy of our game HUD, and it sets itself as a, so the player sets itself as a reference there. Then, with that reference to the player, our HUD watches for, or is bound to, the health value of the player, so that it can update this text. Okay, so this has been a very brief overview of widgets and loading levels. So I hope it's been useful. This has been 3 tutorials all recorded back to back, the last 3. So they'll be coming out they will have, since this is the last of those 3, have come out very closely together in close succession. I'm going to give a brief gap between this and the next set of tutorials so that you all can request what you want to see next. What do we need next in our platformer game? So thank you again for watching. I hope this has helped. And please let me know what you think should come next in our platformer game. We've got moving platforms, we've got damage zones, we have a conveyor belt speed zone. Please let me know what we need next so that we can work on it. So thanks again, hope you're having fun and learning a ton, and we'll see you for the next video. Bye for now.